Hello, ladies and gentlemen, orcs and high elves alike. Welcome to another Liam Maiden gameplay video. Back with some Raid Shadow Legends today. Now, I originally made a video a while back. I'll pop a link in the top right hand corner and down below talking about Raid Shadow Legends and basically how much I had been enjoying it compared to Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because of some key differences in how the game is structured, really, particularly around in-game energy. Basically, you don't need to log on at certain times to get your game energy, and I'm just finding that really freeing. I was finding it really freeing, and I still am right now. Do check out that video if you get a chance and let me know what you think. So today, I just kind of wanted to return just to give a little bit of an update on kind of my game, how Raid Shadow Legends is going for me, and also maybe share a couple of tips, a couple of things that I've kind of gleaned from the game in the little while that I've been playing it that maybe could be helpful for new players who are coming fresh to Raid Shadow Legends. So first up, well, actually, just to give an update on my roster, first of all, I guess, I think in the previous video, the first video I made on Raid, I think this guy right here, Ultimate Death Knight, was the only legendary that I had in my roster. He was a legendary you could actually get for free back in October, and I think I just unlocked him. That's really when I started kind of playing the game. He is still, I think, my MVP or my MUP, my most useful player right now, one of 3 legendaries that I've got, but he's quickly being replaced by this champion right here, Ronda, the Ronda Rousey character that they of course introduced. Was that last month or was it the month before? I think it was maybe last month. Again, she was a free legendary. Actually, the only legendary that I pulled from summoning crystals is Errol, and I'm finding Errol pretty useless, I have to say. Let me know down below if you got any tips for using Errol. But Ronda I'm finding very useful indeed in the campaign, but especially in Grand Arena. She is pretty awesome. And before everyone comments down below, I know I need to get more speed on my champions. The speed gear is a constant grind. Anyway, that's a quick update on the state of my roster so far. It really is Ultimate Death Knight and Ronda who are really carrying the game for me at the moment. Aethel, she was my hero champion at the beginning. She was the first that I took up to 6 stars. Still getting a lot of use out of her, but to be honest with you, it's Ultimate Death Knight who's still carrying me at the moment. Anyway, onto my tips. So I really only have 2 tips to share here today. Really, I'm open to more tips. If you guys are more experienced playing Raid Shadow Legends, do let me know down below. These are just a couple of things that have stood out for me so far as I very slowly and free to play just kind of ease my way into the game. First up is pretty simple. So Raid Shadow Legends is pretty vast. There's actually a lot to do in the game. I love that I've been playing it for several months now, and there's still base content that I'm still getting my head around. You can see here that I've managed to completely star out the brutal levels of the regular campaign, but I'm stuck on the nightmare level. I'm only about halfway through, just less than halfway through, stuck fighting those elves in the Palace of Aravia, not sure how you say it, on the nightmare level. They're really tough for me to get through at the moment, although I am slowly chipping my way through there. So my first tip for new players is to pick an area of the game to focus on, and I think the first area of the game that you're going to want to focus on, the first area of the game that I focus on, is the campaign. So you want to be gearing up a team, a good solid team that can get you through the campaign levels, especially the early campaign levels. You really want to be able to max out everything on normal, get all of your stars on normal. It's got some really good bonuses that you can work through as you get those additional stars, but in order to do that you need really good tunes that can carry you through the campaign. So that is what you want to focus on. Now, I recommend using an online resource called Hell Hades. It's pretty popular in the Raid Shadow Legends community. Every time you unlock a champion, go to Hell Hades, take a look and see how they're rated there. They do some pretty cool in-depth breakdowns there, and they give you, even if you don't want to go into all the details of the gears and the masteries and the blessings and everything else to put on them there, they give you a really simple, clear idea of how good they think a character is with a clear star rating for each character. That I have found is a pretty good guide. So I would recommend using that as a guide when you unlock a champion. Pop them into Hell Hades, see whether, first of all, they're good, whether they're worth keeping, or whether you want to feed them. And if they are worth keeping, check out the mode of the game that they recommend you use this hero, this champion on. And initially, I think you want to focus on campaign because that's where you're going to be able to farm farm a lot of your gear, farm a lot of the heroes you are going to want later, and also get these cool rewards as you're starring out the various levels. After that, you're probably going to want to focus on Arena. I think I was calling it Grand Arena earlier. Obviously, that's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes terminology. Classic Arena is the most important of the early Arena opportunities that you've got. You're probably going to want to focus on that. As I said, I've been using Rhonda. Right now, I'm kind of specializing Rhonda specifically to use in Arena. I do need to get more speed on her, but she is kind of a beast in Arena, although Ultimate Death Knight is also carrying me there too. That's another very important part of the game. And then you're probably going to want to move on to clan bosses and Doom Tower and everything else. But I really think having clear goals in mind and building up champions for specific areas, initially campaign, then probably Arena and clan boss, and moving on from there is the way to go. My next tip, I've kind of touched on this a little bit already, is to do with feeding. Obviously in Raid Shadow Legends, you need to feed characters in order to upgrade. That's how you upgrade stars, right? You feed characters at the same star level to the characters that you're upgrading. So my tip is don't be afraid to feed characters, even rare and epic characters, if you don't need them. And I think the prime example for this would be someone like Shaman. Now, Shaman is an orc epic character that you get near the beginning of the game, and a lot of people, I think, get trapped on Shaman because she has this revive ability, so she can revive a team member, and initially that seems like a really awesome thing. However, she quickly loses viability in game. I kind of view this character a little bit as a resource suck or a resource trap. You can easily pour resources into her, and you're not really getting the benefit from her. So don't be afraid to feed characters like Shaman, epic and uncommon characters, if you just don't think they're any good, or if you look them up and they don't fit with the area of the game that you're trying to advance. At the end of the day, you'd be much better pouring those resources into what's technically a weaker character, an uncommon character like Armiger here. You'd get more out of powering up Armiger with those resources than you would throwing them into Shaman. So my second tip is don't be afraid to feed characters, even epic and rares. And then my final beginner tip, I know I said I'd only give you two, but I've thought of a third. 3 for 2, value for money as always. My third tip is don't forget missions. Now again, this really stands out to me because I've been playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for a long time, for example, many years, and we've got quests in Galaxy of Heroes, and I find them pretty darn useless. If you happen to be going after whatever character or whatever goal that the quests align with, then they're kind of useful, I guess. But generally speaking, they haven't impacted my gameplay for a really long time. Now, yes, granted, I am new. I'm new to Raid Shadow Legends. However, so far the missions have been really, really great. They're a great way to power up your roster. There are some awesome rewards that you're working toward, whether it's legendary characters or just a chance to pull legendary characters. You're getting really great rewards for the effort that you put in, and they're really helping you build your roster toward specific goals. So they're just really helpful in kind of building a rounded out roster, and they're a really great way to progress in the game, especially when if you're feeling a little stuck and you're not sure what to do. Check out the missions and take it from there. Well, there you go. Some ongoing initial reflections from me on my Raid Shadow Legends journey. So far, I am really, really enjoying it. And then some initial kind of general tips that I think people can apply if they're new to Raid Shadow Legends and they are looking to grow their roster and move forward with some purpose in the game. That said, I am still very new in the game, so if anybody watching this video has any hints, tips, or suggestions, please feel free to leave them down below. I would really appreciate hearing that. I know I have to get more speed on my characters. I'm preempting that one right there, but anything else, let me know down below, because I really am open to suggestions here. I'm enjoying the game so much, and anything that you can share, I want to implement and also share in my videos too. So thank you in advance for that. Well, there you go. That is all from me today. Thank you for coming along for this journey. If you have found this video informative or entertaining in any way, please consider giving it a like, thumbs up down below. I really do appreciate it, and it helps out the channel. And hey, while you're here, why not consider subscribing to Liam Maiden Gameplay? I drop new gameplay videos for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Marvel Strike Force, and Raid Shadow Legends every single week, and I would love to have you along for the ride. That is all from me today. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, look after each other.